Hey, fans of the Monday Movie Club. I'm coming to you from the Miami airport on my way to St. Martin for a wedding. Look, I'm wearing Milo today
Oh,
since we're leaving him behind.
Aw.
This week, Joel made us watch Jackie Brown, which is number 858 on the Franken list. So thanks, Joel. That's one less movie I have to watch.
not a problem.
And as of this moment, it is Joel's favorite Tarantino movie. Could change tomorrow. But that's Joel for you, always picking the underdog. I'm Frank Gaffney. With us, of course, is Joel. There he is. Amy Goldfuck and Cringer. Wait, Jackie and Cringer.
I changed it last week.
Annie King, not in Iceland, still in her bedroom. And Mark Wotis Gardner, who has a picture up. I guess he likes this movie. All right. So I said we're on the way to St. Martin, and I hope Pam Grier is our stewardess today.
Oh, how funny.
No, Joel, she only does Mexico runs, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So no. I feel this could easily be called Pulp Fiction 2. This was his first film right after the massive success and Oscar winner for his screenplay for Pulp Fiction. But instead of another original, he chose to adapt the Elmore Leonard novel Rum Punch. And this is the only feature film directed by Tarantino that was based on someone else's work. So, Joel, I'm skipping the why Jackie Brown, because I already answered that question, for a better one. I assume you read the book.
Yes.
So how did Quentin Tarantino it? And of course, firstly, he made her brown, literally.
Yes.
She was white in the novel.
Yeah, her name in the novel is actually Jackie Burke.
Jackie Burke.
Yeah.
Not Jackie Carlson.
No, not. Beyond that, he made some. It's mostly minor changes to certain things. And obviously some of the dialogue is a little more. I'd say colorful.
Explicit, yeah.
Yeah.
I like colorful.
Yeah.
Colorful.
Oh, yeah. There's
Yeah.
The N word kind of appears a lot.
I read somewhere that this was the most times Sam Jackson has said it in a movie.
Yeah, and that wouldn't
And
surprise.
motherfucker too, right?
Yeah, probably.
Do you want to get us thrown off the Facebook?
Fuck that.
That's not the Facebook you have to worry about. You have to worry about the parents sitting behind you getting thrown out of the airport.
Well, I didn't say it.
But
They can't hear her. She's only in my head.
Oh, that explains so much.
Yes.
Amy's only in my head.
Yeah.
It's really a pretty faithful adaptation beyond those very minor kind of things. So
Right. I mean, certainly his dialogue is specific to him.
it is, but also
So,
hang on. It is specific to him, but Elmore Leonard's dialogue lends itself in that direction naturally anyway. If
Yeah.
you read any
Yeah.
of anything else.
And didn't he feel that way as well, Elmore Leonard?
Yeah, Elmore Leonard actually felt that this was the most faithful and best adaptation of one of his works. So that says something.
Do you agree?
I haven't read
I mean,
all.
I remember loving Get Shorty.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
book was so much better though, honestly.
Yeah,
That's
the-
the one book I
yeah.
did read of his and love.
yeah, I would say this is one of those movies where you could go either way with the book or the movie.
Right.
But Get Shorty is a great movie, but as Amy said, it's a better book. Same thing. Maximum Bob is a better book than it was a TV series.
Like anybody remembers Maximum Bob, the TV series. And as I said, that's Joel for you, always picking the underdog. Joel has actually seen every sitcom ever created. All right, so it's true.
It's not true, but I have watched very few episodes of the Goldbergs, as Amy will. Let me rephrase that. I have watched very few episodes of the recent iteration called the Goldbergs.
Yeah, the original was better.
There was an old TV series in like the 50s or 60s called The Goldbergs that I've actually seen.
Oh, I see. Yes, with Molly Goldberg. Okay. So, like Joel, Anthony's telling me I'm too loud. Like Joel, Quentin Tarantino is a video store idiot,
Videos.
and he has a idiot, and he has a soft spot for 1970s actors. So, Pam Grier certainly is in that category. John Travolta, sure. And Robert Forster, certainly big in the 70s. Actors from his childhood who were kind of on the wane, and he ends up giving some new success to, and I find that very admirable of him. But Robert Foster is terrific here. He totally deserved his Oscar nomination. His bail bondsman for me was so like cut out of the Bogart cloth. He was that tough guy who had a soft spot for this dame, and he does such a beautiful job. I loved him. But for me, Pam Grier was a little awkward at times. She's really good, but she's not great. And it's an understated, lived in, cool, and out of Fox performance. But she isn't an actress well served by long stretches of doing nothing in front of the camera. And we even discussed this last week. She's not that good at smoking. She was definitely holding it like a weird thing. And also this didn't really give a big enough boost to her career. She didn't really have a great role after this one. I'm not counting her 6 seasons on the L Word. But all of the supporting actors really have their moments. Sam Jackson lives and breathes Odell. That hair and that chin thing, perfect. And Robert De Niro beautifully subverts his usual bravado. And dare I say it, he's even a weak male here. I almost expected him to call for Mr. Luthor. Bridget Fonda is perfectly annoying as the Ice Queen. I would have killed her too. Then there's Michael Keaton. Another sometimes awkward performance. It seems like he's trying to be serious, but he can't quite make the transition yet. And he even, when he's questioning Jackie Brown, he even makes a Robert De Niro face at the end of the thing. And I'm like, I'm sure Quentin thought it was funny and they put it in the film, but it was so wrong for me. But actually, I think Jackie Brown may be the least Tarantino of Tarantino's films. Not as much pop culture self-awareness, immaturity, or comically crazed ultraviolence, which we've come to expect. And what really hasn't aged well, at least for me, was the overuse of the N-word. And he did get criticism when he did it back in 1997. And for me, instead of coming out as authentic to Ordell, it just was gratuitous after a while. It's like, really? Every other word? Okay. And Pam Grier moving her lips to across 110th Street at the end of the movie went on for 10 minutes. I'm like, we get it. Okay, move on. And it is a long movie. I actually watched it in 2 sittings. That first hour really is about character development. Didn't really bother me. It meandered for sure. But you were getting to know these people, and that was fine. And it really wasn't until that last 90 minutes that the plot shifted into high gear, and it became very entertaining. So I'm going with 3.5 stars out of 4. It's not my favorite Tarantino, not quite Pulp Fiction for me, but a good one for sure. And surprisingly, quite the endearing love story. So that was nice. It was very nice. All right, Mark G, you're nodding your head. Go ahead.
Sure. I've seen this maybe 4 times now. I definitely didn't remember chunks of it, so it was nice to see because it's been a while. This is one of the few Tarantinos that Danielle does not like, so I gotta watch it by myself. This is probably number 4 or 5 Tarantino for me, in ranking order. And this movie, when I first saw it, introduced me to Pam Grier. I had no idea who she was at that time.
They were
Um,
like, Mark, this is Pam Grier. Pam Grier, this is Mark.
Nice to meet you. Um, if my nits, I guess the opening goes on way too. You guys know how I am. An opening that just goes on and on and on, way too long. And there were other parts too, way too many other parts with just music, no dialogue. That drives me insane. Um, I have it too. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Annie.
Frank, you should mute yourself while he's talking.
Oh, okay. Sorry. How can I interject?
Well, you
I
can.
think just the space bar will mute and mute you real quickly.
Yeah, nice job.
Just,
My ears just popped.
oh, it's so nice. to
Shut up,
watch.
Joe.
Oh, we can hear you still. we
That's
just heard you
funny.
tell me to shut up.
Ah,
I have also the way too many N bombs, even for Tarantino. I thought it was fun to see De Niro have such a
Thank
muted,
you.
zero personality. And same thing, Robert Forster was perfect for me. And I wrote the same thing. It's a love story with a caper in it. So to me, that elevates it then from your average caper. However, it's missing something for me. I don't know what it is. It's missing something, and I don't like the ending. I don't like them not getting together at the end. I like a happy ending. I'm a simple guy. And her leaving, by the way, her leaving for Spain with $450,000. $450,000, even in 1997, was not that much money. It's not like you've hit the $10 million. So I hope she continues to work because that's going to go real fast. I don't know. I'm going to
This
give
is
it.
Mark. He's always the realist. When we were watching Paddington, the bear had to be a real bear. 450. This is a romantic movie. She $450,000. She can have a great time in Spain.
Sure, but then like I don't know. The ending was lacking for me. And that's why I'm only giving it 3 1/3 star.
oh, good
Uh,
Lord.
It is but I will say it was fun to see Sid Haig as a judge, and he was very good at it, which was great. And I know that there is a connection between him and Pam Grier from I think the Big Dollhouse way back when.
Why do we know Sid Haig?
He's a
I didn't
horror movie
recognize him.
icon.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of the Rob Zombie movies and stuff like that too. But yeah, good, not great. Not my favorite Tarantino, but certainly not my least favorite. Right, Cringer?
And you're saying that should be death proof.
That might
That
be.
is hysterical.
That might be.
What is he looking at?
Well, the window is right there.
Oh, I thought maybe he couldn't believe Mark's review. Okay. Annie King, had you seen it before?
Nope, first time, and I was like, ugh, another Tarantino movie. But actually, I didn't hate it, so it was good. It was less violent than I expected, and I do love a good heist movie. And like Mark said, it had a love story thrown in, so that was it was good. I enjoyed it. I love how the music went along with the whole movie and the songs and everything. So
The
I like.
one song over and over again.
But it seemed a little just like out of sync, like when she walks out of the prison and he like all of a sudden like just falls in love kind of thing, with the music playing, and then it's like, wow, this is the one. That just seemed a little weird to me.
It's called Love at First Sight. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, but it just didn't seem to jive with the movie for me, I love.
She's a hot mama.
If you're a 12-year-old boy watching, Foxy Brown or I'm blanking on one of the other movies, but
Coffee.
yeah,
Coffee.
you'd understand it.
Okay, yeah, but I do like a good, what's the word where you double,
Heist, romance,
no, like
double cross.
Double
a
cross.
double cross. Yes, I do like that. That she played both sides pretty well, so that was fun. Yeah, but you guys kind of said it. It was good. I felt Michael Keaton was a little off on it at some points and stuff. And
Did you recognize Michael Keaton's other cop buddy partner there?
no,
He was in Kill Bill as well. He's another Tarantino staple.
okay.
Was he in Out of Sight as well?
No.
No, just Michael Keaton.
That's just Michael Keaton.
Same character.
Well,
right?
and I'm sure, yeah, same character. But I'm sure Quentin Tarantino was the one who was the 12-year-old drooling over Pam Grier.
One of many.
So I'm giving it 3 stars. It was fine. I didn't have a problem watching it. It didn't feel long, and I could say I enjoyed it. So
Yeah, and like I said, it was the least Tarantino of all his films, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Amos, you've seen it before, right?
I had not seen it before. And
Oh,
Frank, I said to you in a text last Sunday, I think it was, here comes my Joel homework now. I'm going to watch this movie. And knowing me, I'm going to end up liking it more than I'm expecting to. And I am a big Tarantino fan. I just looked at his list and he's made 12 movies and I've seen 8 of them, not 12. Did I count wrong? According to Wikipedia, it says 12.
According to him, Kill Bill 1 and 2 are one movie.
Okay, so 11.
So that's 11, and you've got something in there that he didn't actually
yeah.
do.
Isn't one
The
like
other
a
half-
short?
The other
The
half
short
of Grindhouse.
part
I
of
did think he only did 9 so far.
He did only do 9. It should be Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill 1 and 2. Whether you count it as Grindhouse or Death Proof doesn't matter.
That's listed as one, yeah.
Yeah,
And then all the more recent ones that I saw and loved. So
That would
they
be-
also included Sin City and 4 Rooms.
no, you can't. He doesn't count either of those because 4 Rooms he only did one segment of, and Sin City he barely did a segment of.
Okay, so then of his 9, I've seen 8. The only one I haven't seen, believe it or not, is Reservoir Dogs.
Next year,
2025.
You got it. So I am a big Tarantino fan. The last movies of his that came out, I've seen all in the theaters, including the 5-hour movies, whatever, and loved them all. So I don't know why I've had this thing against seeing this movie. And Joel, I actually watched it twice this week because after watching it and seeing the 3 versions of what happened, I thought, wait a minute. How did they get this bag and that bag? I had to rewatch it. I zipped through the first hour and then the last 90 minutes I watched. And I really got to see all the ins and outs of how this person got that bag and what they were going to do. And I enjoyed it so much more the second time around. And like you all said, the performances, Michael Keaton, I thought he was good. I just couldn't stand that fucking gum chewing. But Robert De Niro and Robert Foster and Sam Jackson, oh my God, did I love that? And Bridget Fonda, they were all so good. So they really elevated the movie even more. And I really enjoyed it. So I didn't take any notes. I'm just going to give it 3.5 stars. But I would have gone with 3.25 before watching it the second.
That makes
The
sense.
way it all fell into place worked so well. But I also agree, I did not like the ending. To me, it just kind of ended. I'm like, I want to see some more.
But Tarantino is fantastic at doing that. I mean, same thing with Pulp Fiction. When you rewatch Pulp Fiction for the first time, and because I'm sure when you see Pulp Fiction for the first time, you're confused, all that back and forth. But then when you rewatch it, it's just masterpiece.
Yeah, there is so much to listen for and so many little things and the way everything weaves and it all comes together. So good.
Aim, if you're confused about who gets what bag when, you're going to watch What's Up Doc 3 times.
Oh, and by the way, since yesterday was the Superb Owl, I'm wearing my shirt. I just had to throw that in there.
That's
The
funny.
Chiefs, go Chiefs! Congrats on your win.
Do you want to do the other version now?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for the 49ers. Nobody's ever won more Super Bowls. Congrats, 49ers.
I'll be watching it in St. Martin.
now I know who's playing and still don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Usher halftime.
Usher,
Joel.
I got rehearsal tonight, so or I had rehearsal last night.
Who schedules rehearsal on Super Bowl Sunday? Them
Seriously, I
tape-
would kill you if I cared about the Super
Somebody
Bowl.
who A, doesn't care or remember, and B, has a cast that really didn't give a shit. So
Theater people.
I take that back. One of them was not upset, but he would have preferred not to have rehearsal. But he said, if everybody agrees, I will be here, and I will be happy to be here. And especially since we're probably we may wind up having to cancel tomorrow night with the snow.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Which is
Could you
crazy
imagine
because
somebody
it was
scheduling anything on Oscar Sunday? I'd be like, no.
we have a matinee.
57 degrees last night, by the way, yesterday, and
Yeah, I
snow
know.
today.
Oh, it's 81 degrees here.
Oh,
We have a matinee on Oscar Sunday. So
All right, Joel, it's your turn.
I like the movie. I've always liked the movie. It's as Mark would put it, or Frank would put it, it's Tarantino's most mature film.
and
And
sophisticated.
Uh, he doesn't give in to what he's already set up in his previous two films as his love for over the top violence and such, that he continues to feed into the further he gets along. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't I'm not offended by it, it doesn't bother me, but sometimes it's just kind of like, that's like for me it kind of ruins the ending of The Hateful Eight because it's so over the top and bloody and violent.
Django too.
Yeah, Django has the same problem. It's a little less so in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think the over the top ending there actually kind of works in favor of the film.
Right, because it's a fantasy.
Yeah. I have, I've seen the movie I've lost count of how many times I've seen the movie. I haven't seen it in a while, so it was nice to revisit it. I will agree at this point in time that well, back then it was as well, but the overuse of the N-word is highly gratuitous, and it does kind of knock the film a little bit from the perfection it could be. I don't mind the ending. To me, it's still happy in one direction, that Jackie Brown has able to get herself out of the situation she's been in, and she will potentially have a happier life in Spain for at least a couple of years before she runs out of money.
Yeah.
And hopefully, find a job.
According to Mark, like 1 year.
I give her 5 years. 5 years.
Do I wish Max and she had gotten together? Of course. It really needed that, but
that's not a love story.
Oh, it's not. It's not
You
reality.
need a sad, tragic thing.
And
Joel, can I ask you about the Muppet behind you? Is that Jackie Brown if she were a Muppet?
No, that's me if I were a Muppet, and it's because I had nothing else to put there, so I was like, let's throw this there because you really didn't want to see
deluxe box set. Nothing.
No, there's not. This is a movie that there should be sometime this year a 4K disc version coming out. So I will watch it again later this year. It's one of, I think, 2 of his films that haven't made it to that format yet. So, anyway,
They keep getting more money from you, Joel. Every format.
Yeah. Well, it depends on the movie. Depends on the movie at this point. If there's a steelbook,
right? We actually found a movie that you did not have a copy of.
This is true. And I would only get a 4K copy of Jackie Brown if it's in a steelbook at this point. If there's no steelbook, it's no sale. It's got to be that way. I know if it's in a steelbook case, I'm done. There's nothing to upgrade from there, So
Is that
not
the
right
rule?
now, of course.
no, there's not. Even if they came out with a new format, which I highly doubt in my lifetime, I don't have the energy. So
I'm working on a
What the
5K
hell does it
release
mean
right
that
now.
it's a steel book?
what?
What
was
the
that?
hell does it mean that it's a steel book?
It's instead of a regular plastic case, it's actually a metal case that it comes in. That
So then this DVD is indestructible?
theoretically,
Yeah, my Terminator 2 is like that.
there's a bunch of those like that. So
And we see what happens to him.
yes, he gets melted. What was I saying? What had you asked? That
About the blue Muppet behind you.
No, before the Blue Muppet interruption.
So is it still your number one Tarantino?
Not by much. You know, it's still, I think, because it's his only work based on somebody else's material, because it's his most mature and sophisticated film. You know, it's not quite a 4-star film for me, but it comes close. There are things that don't work as well as they should.
I
You
just wrote down Joel Starr's 3 3/4.
know,
I did.
that's
Yeah.
for
And
that's what I'm changing
so
it now.
Joel, so Joel,
3.9.
give us the nits to pick.
Well, you've mentioned most of them at this point. You know, the one that I'll kind of, you know, the smokers in the group who complain about Pam Grier smoking, you know, my guess is sometime between the 70s and the 90s, when she quit, she forgot how to do it. You know, or that was how she was doing it in the 70s. I'd have to go back and watch, you know, older movies and such. You know, I don't mind her performance. It's not quite up to the same level as everyone else, but it's close. I mean, she did get a
I
Golden
agree.
Globe
She was good.
Yeah, you know, and it's probably the best thing she's done.
I didn't say she wasn't good. She wasn't great.
Which
Yeah.
is great. I get that. You know, I love the fact that the violence in the film is not what you expect from him. Like we don't see Melanie get shot. You know, it's literally he fires the gun off screen. Even when Odell shoots Lewis, you know, you're seeing it from the back. You know, you're not seeing you see a little bit of blood splatter, and that's it. You know,
And that reminds me that I did love the cinematography throughout the movie. And I loved, because I didn't know that that was going to happen. And I loved that the camera was behind them and we didn't need to see De Niro's face at all. I love that. And there was a scene early on when they came into the house and De Niro was sitting on the couch, you know, when she was here smoking the weed and he was sitting here. And for some reason, the camera, I don't remember what it was following.
Yeah.
But it just turned all the way around to the other side of him. And it looked beautiful.
He does, you know, he I forget who the cinematographer was on the film, but you know, he always works well with the cinematographers. I know Mark complained about the opening. I love that opening shot with the music where she's just, you know, riding the walkway. You know, it's very reminiscent of the opening of The Graduate and such. And I think
Yeah, none of that bothered me either. And Mark, I was going to say when you were talking that when we saw her nervously exiting the dressing room and we just followed her face and her face was looking all fake nervous. The second time I watched it, I was like, okay, I got to count how long this is. So I did this. A minute and 50 seconds of just her face and the music. And I wanted to kill myself. It was brutal.
But that scene I enjoyed because I know she was still telling a story. The beginning for me, which if you guys recall when we watched Do the Right Thing too, the whole opening, I think it's just a personal preference. I hate long opening to music. It's just so I
Yeah,
understand
but
why you guys might like it.
That's a very 1970s way of doing all the titles while you're sitting there.
That's
And
why I don't watch movies from the 1970s.
oh, is that why?
Yes.
There was something else I was going to.
I already wrote 3.75.
I told you it's 3.9 now because you wrote that down.
Sorry, I
Yes,
interrupted
if
you.
Mark can do 3.33333, then you can do 3.9.
Okay. That, you know, I whatever else I was going to say, I that's gone. It's I was going to mention the whole Michael Keaton, Ray Nicolette out of sight bit is that Universal found out they were in production with Rum Punch Jackie Brown at the time and knew that the character, you know, obviously has a bigger part in that book, and they were waiting to see who Tarantino cast. And once they found out, they were shifting because they're like, we can't afford him, and they couldn't pay the licensing rights for the character. And Tarantino made the Weinsteins basically give it to Universal for free, and you know, Keaton got something for it. You know.
And you know, and it's a very cute, and we watched Out of Sight. It's a very cute crossover. I'm glad they did it.
Yeah, no, it's a nice kind of thing. So
He only had a really small part in Out of Sight, though, right?
yeah, just that one scene.
Okay.
Yeah. And I can't remember if he appears in any of Elmore Leonard's other books, but kind of irrelevant at this point.
Say hi to Anthony.
Hi, Anthony.
I am.
What's up, Aunt?
Hey, Aunt.
Um,
Are we done?
I think we're done. That's one more quick plug for Pam Grier. After this, or at some point after this, did do a great turn as Amanda Waller on Smallville for a couple of episodes. So, who is now played by Viola Davis in the movies. So
Yeah, let's remake Jackie Brown with Viola Davis. Then I'll say, okay, that's an actress. All right. Jackie Brown is on Netflix if you want to watch it.
wait,
It's also on
thing.
Prime.
One more quick thing. Sorry.
What are you, Columbo?
No, you reminded me because it's on Netflix. I hate the poster they have on Netflix for this film because it's all Bridget Fonda. It's not what you see behind Mark. It is literally Bridget Fonda and only Bridget Fonda.
How
I
weird.
saw
I
that
don't
when
remember
I
that.
searched for this. I saw that.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? That's why I missed it the first time. I was like, I could have sworn it was on Netflix.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Frank. Now you can continue.
Too loud? There's a party
I'd
going
love
on
to
at the
know what's
airport.
going on. Are people yelling?
It's
The,
Miami.
the lady was announcing stuff.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Okay, next week we're back to the MCU with the Disney Plus series Echo, who's a character we first met in Hawkeye, right? And now really looks like this is going to be the bridge between Hawkeye and Daredevil. Right, Joel? I only watched half of it. I didn't watch all of it yet. All right, that's it for us. And Frank Gaffney, go watch a movie.
I don't know.